I had a terrible training session today. The thing is, this is not about just me having an off day, because I am a professional athlete. I'm getting paid to do this, and I play tomorrow. I'm starting in a game tomorrow. This is a real game. This is gonna count. Obviously, this is my job, of course. I get paid to perform, and I did not do that today. It also really matters on the day of the game, but I didn't have a good go at training today at all. Tomorrow at noon, I have to turn this around somehow and have a great game and perform. So when I have a day like this, I don't have the opportunity to just stay stuck in it. I have to reset, I have to. There's no other option. But here's actually what I've learned. So the exact habits that help me go from a bad day to a great performance are the exact habits that anyone can also learn as well. Just because I'm a professional athlete doesn't mean that it's sacred just to professional athletes. These are the habits I've learned and curated over the years that can help anyone get over a bad day, bad performance, whether that's in work, in life, in school, anything. And after today's session, I realized I wanted to share them with you. They're how I reset and they're how I make sure I can show up the next day. Because for me, the next day, tomorrow, is game day, okay? So I have no choice. I gotta actually put it together. And I think you might be shocked about what these habits are. So sit back, relax, and let me walk you through some of the habits that help me as a pro athlete that can help anyone as well get through the tougher days. Also, wait, before we start, why am I matching with the couch? Let me just say, everyone has bad days. You know this, I know this, easy money. But I think it's how fast you rebound after bad days. And the reason why I put bad days in quotes is because sometimes it's not even like a bad day. Sometimes it's a bad moment. In that training session today, I had good moments, but I also had bad moments. The bad moments just felt really bad today. But I think sometimes when you have a little bit of a worser training session than usual, and that happens. I think in one video, I explained the 1/3 rule. Actually, okay, wait, let me show you. This quote I saw, it was called the 1/3 rule, where 1/3 of the time you'll have a poor training session. 1/3 of the time you'll have an average training session, and 1/3 of the time you'll have an amazing training session. When you do have that poor training session, you shouldn't be freaking out, oh my god, like, I'm not who I was, blah, blah, blah. Because according to the rule of 1/3, you're exactly where you're meant to be. 1/3 of the time shouldn't be the best. 1/3 of the time it's average, and 1/3 of the time it's great. So you should have that relief where it's like, okay, 1/3 of the time might not be the best training session ever. That's okay. That happens. It's not the end of the world. Okay, I'll start with this. I don't pretend that bad days didn't happen. Today, I was grumpy, I don't know how else to say it. I was in a little bit of a frustrated mood after practice and after the moments happened in practice, because it's not that easy sometimes to just be like, oh, whatever, you know what I mean? But here's the habit. Once practice ends, I flush it. I do a quick rant to my best friend, shout out Lara, but I do a quick rant to my best friend. Then I don't carry it into the rest of the day. It's gone. It's done. Sometimes I literally picture it like a toilet flushing. It's gone. It's done. And you could do the same thing. So in this book, I remember it talked about getting a little toilet bowl keychain or something, or figurine or mini toy or something to put it in your locker. So when you have a bad day at practice, you literally visualize it as you're throwing it away. You're flushing it away and you're putting it in the past. I think that's such a great way to move on, to be honest. Because you could do the same thing, pick a flush ritual. It could be for me, I think it's mostly taking a shower. Right after I take a shower in training, I let everything go. I kind of wash away the bad training. And then it kind of helps me get into a better mood. As soon as I let myself have a really good shower, I flush all the emotions away. They still might be lingering, but they're less intense, and that's my way of resetting. I feel like I literally try to imagine the frustration going down the drain. It could be a shower as your flush ritual. It could be writing one line on your phone. You bring your phone out and you're like, all right, today's done, and that's your flush ritual. You could type it out on your phone. You could write it down in a journal. You could go for a 10-minute walk, no music, no phone, whatever. That could be your ritual. All I'm saying is that you need to feel it, and then you need to flush it. And that's how you stop one bad day from turning into 2 bad days. So the next habit is boring, I guess, but I think a lot of people ignore it. Basically, getting back to the basics and the fundamentals. I know when I'm having a bad day or a bad training session, I make sure to try to drink a bit more water. I try to do this subconsciously, and I also set reminders on my phone because I think I saw, and I'm gonna look this up to see if this is correct, but I think studies show that even 2% dehydration can decrease reaction time, okay? 2%. Like in my world, that's the difference between a good pass, a good one-touch pass, and a sloppy one-touch pass. Since I'm thinking about the next action, the next training session, and the next time I'm gonna perform, I wanna set myself up for success. So I try to hydrate myself a bit more, to be honest. So my brain is like not as foggy and my body isn't dragging as much. You know, it's also like a little self-confidence thing where it's like, okay, I'm taking care of my body by hydrating. This day is automatically gonna be at least a little bit better because I'm not dehydrated, you know? And sleep, I mean, sleep is a non-negotiable. I try after a bad day, even though sometimes my thoughts keep me up at night, after a bad training session, I put on my meditation app and I try to meditate before I go to bed. I don't scroll until 2 a.m. Even though I want to sometimes, I don't. I just get in bed. But the thing is, you don't need to be a pro athlete to do this. I just think a pro athlete knows this is a way to step your game up a bit. If you want to reset after a bad day, I think making a simple cutoff for yourself is a good thing. Like no phone after 11, or instead of a cutoff with hydration, it could be an addition, of course. So can I finish this water bottle by 2 a.m.? I mean, by 2 p.m. You know, just something to get yourself into the right headspace of like, okay, I won't be in a worser mood because I'm hydrated, and I won't be in a worser mood tomorrow because I'm also not sleep deprived. So I think you got to set yourself up for tomorrow today. Since we're talking about tomorrow in mind, another thing, habit number 3, fueling with tomorrow in mind. So a big one is every time I have a bad day, I try to control the controllables. So, for example, since for me, I have a game tomorrow, something I can control other than my sleep and my hydration is my fueling. So, you know, the night before a game, carb loading, eating well, that's what I'm gonna do, or that's what I did before. I ask myself this one question: will it help me feel better or worse if I eat this? And if the answer is this will make me feel worse, then I don't eat it. Because, I mean, this is not about comfort, it's about performance. So, yes, everything in moderation, but at least for me, I have a big performance tomorrow that I'd like to play well in. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did have some of Dubai chocolate tonight that Claire on my team made. Freaking phenomenal, by the way. I know that having a lot of it won't make me feel the best tonight, but I had a little piece after my dinner. Nothing crazy. So for me, maybe that looks like having carbs, a lot of carbs, the night before a game. For you, maybe it's something like, okay, maybe I won't have this fast food right now after a bad day because it might make me feel worse. I don't know. Depends on how you like to see it. I know for me, when I have a terrible day, sometimes comfort food is the way to go. Let's say I want a nice poutine. Sometimes that might be the way to go, but most of the time I realize like having a nice meal with whole foods helps me feel better about myself after a not so good day. All right, this 4th habit. Here's something most people never think about. Energy is like currency, okay? So I feel like I don't want to spend my currency on things that don't matter, especially the night before a game. That means I try my best to engage with people that will help me also protect my energy like it's $1 million I have in the bank account. So I like having a laugh after, I like doing handshakes with people, dapping people up, for example. I like kind of acting almost as if it never happened, to be honest. After practice, I'm not trying to argue with people. I'm not doom scrolling. I protect my energy because tomorrow that energy is literally how I will get paid. Okay, because it's the same for you, honestly. Like if you waste all your energy being mad about a bad day, you've already lost, to be honest, my friend. Protect your money, protect your energy. Save it for when it counts, okay? And think of it like this: every distraction, every pointless thought It's like handing out free money. Stop giving it away. Just stop, okay? Keep it. Protect your energy. And also, your brain hears everything. Your brain, whether you like it or not, hears everything. So the more you're like, what a bad day this was. Oh my gosh, how will I get through it? Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do tomorrow? Your brain is processing all that. And it doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. Your brain picks up on the energy that you have as well. So for this habit, I'm gonna say protect your energy as if it's your most valuable currency, because I think it is. Honestly, I think it is. I think energy is super valuable and it's priceless. So no need to waste energy on stuff that doesn't pay off, okay? Focus on the positive and how good you have it, because it's true. There are a lot of good things about the world, and I think that's something that sports teaches you quickly, is that, okay, yeah, you got a bad practice, but you got to protect your energy. You have a better practice coming tomorrow. You have a better performance coming tomorrow. All right, number 5, I saved the best for last because this one happened in a conversation today with our sporting director, Marinette Pichon. So for those who don't know, Marinette Pichon is a retired female footballer and one of the greatest in women's football in France. And she works at the Roses for us, and she is a great person to be around. After practice today, a teammate and I were having a conversation with her, and she was spitting gold. She was dropping wisdom left and right. And I want to tell you what she said today. I'm not gonna lie, after practice, I immediately wanted to go watch the film and be like, what did I do wrong? Why did I do this wrong? What could I have done better? How can I be better for tomorrow? What goals do I want to set for tomorrow? How can I turn the page? What can I do? You know, like all these questions, okay? Marinette was talking about how women in particular are very hard on themselves and ask themselves always these questions to try to rationalize why this happened and yada, yada, yada. But she was saying, after a bad training session, you don't need to sit and watch the film about it. You don't need to be stressing about it. You already know what you did poorly, right? You already know that it was just maybe not your best day. Out of all these training sessions throughout the year, it is inevitable that you won't have 100% good days. And she's played at the top. She's handled all the pressure. She was telling us stories about how she's had poor practices and how she resetted for the next match. And it was interesting because at the end of the day, it's honestly just about trusting yourself. So I'd say for this last habit is trust your work and detach. There's no need to spiral about what happened. There's no need to ask yourself why it happened. It just happened. It just is. At the end of the day, it's not even necessarily good or bad. It just is, okay? So tonight, I'm not gonna watch the film about my practice today because honestly, it's in the past. I don't need to be putting those images in my head of how I messed up. Truthfully, I'd rather watch my own highlights tonight because I'd rather feed my brain with positivity. I'd rather protect my energy instead of focusing on my energy on something that won't help me feel good tonight. Because honestly, I could watch the film and at the end of the day, I might feel worse about myself. I don't want to do that. So I'm choosing to trust my ability and to trust that, okay, it's really not that deep. And look at me making a whole video about it. No, but it is really not that deep. It's just a training session. It's just a bad day. It's just one small percentage of your life. So what I'm gonna do tonight, I'm gonna do what I would do on any other match day -1 day. Chill, relax, hang out with my family. So like for example, today, when I got home, my dad asked me, how was your day? How was training? And I said, my day was good. Training, I don't really want to talk about it because it's in the past, it's over. And he was like, okay, like fair. And he respected that. So it's in the past, it's over. There's not much I can do about it. The only thing I can control is tomorrow. So that being said, I will shut my brain off from football. And I think as best as you can as well, try to shut your brain off from whatever bad day happens. You might be having a great day today, but just remember these 5 habits for when the days aren't so great. Number 1, feel it and flush it. Number 2, lock in the basics. Number 3, fuel with tomorrow in mind. Number 4, cherish and protect your energy. It's the most valuable currency you'll get. And number 5, trust in the work so that you can detach. And that's basically the blueprint about how I bounce back after a bad day. At the end of the day, Sure, I need to perform tomorrow, but I trust myself and my instincts that I will be able to perform regardless of the conditions because, I mean, hey, sure, it might have been great to have an amazing week going into tomorrow's game. That could have been nice, but I've also had games where I've had a terrible week of training and I've had the best game of my life at the end of the week. So it all depends on how you show up the day of the game. I do believe you should be striving for excellence every day, but unfortunately, that is not what can always happen. So anyways, I will say a message to my future kids is that don't ask yourself too many questions. That's something I'm gonna say. Don't ask yourself too many questions. If you had a bad day, if you had a bad training session, it's fine. It's fine. Life moves on. No need to ask why. No need to rationalize. It happens. I do think there are moments in life where we need to be deliberate and have an understanding of how to improve, but sometimes bad days are just bad days. There will be good ones coming. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for following along, and I hope to see everybody in the next video. Au revoir!